Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and in our first full week without football, we have a lot to cover from around the sports world. Starting first on the international stage, the NHL Four Nations Face-Off has been absolutely must-watch TV to this point. Last week, I talked about the tournament opener when Canada and Sweden faced off in an overtime thriller. The following day, the U.S. opened their tournament play against Finland, where they breezed to a 6-1 win. Finland then beat Sweden in overtime, and the best game of the series so far was the first matchup between Canada and the USA. Team USA players and brothers, Matthew and Brady Tkachuk plus JT Miller, each had a fight in the first 9 seconds to open the game. Matthew Tkachuk's fight before the opening faceoff was the fastest ever in an NHL international game, topping the previous record of 20 seconds in the 1996 World Cup of Hockey, for a fight that involved Brady and Matthew Tkachuk's father, Keith. Violence on the ice runs in that family, apparently. Anyways, after everyone got the fights out of their system, the U.S. dominated throughout that game. Connor McDavid got Canada on the board first as they jumped out to an early 1-0 lead, but 2 goals from Jake Guentzel and 1 from Dylan Larkin secured the 3-1 win for the Americans. It was a transcendent moment for hockey as 5.4 million American viewers watched the first best-on-best tournament game between the nations since 2016. Earlier this week, Canada defeated Finland 5-3, which clinched the championship round. Canada and the U.S. were set for a rematch in the championship, setting the perfect stage for a vengeful rematch. In a game that didn't truly matter for the Americans since they already clinched their spot in the finals, the U.S. fell 2-1 to Sweden. The puck dropped in the championship game last night at the TD Garden in Boston, and the rematch lived up to the hype. Heading into last night, Canada had won 9 of the 13 best-on-best tournaments ever played, including 5 of the past 6 and the past 3 in a row. The United States has won 1 best-on-best tournament, the 1996 World Cup of Hockey, when they defeated Canada 2-1 in a best-of-3 final. Canada kept their tournament streak alive, got their revenge, and defeated the United States for the Four Nations Championship. This was an incredible event for hockey and for the sports world as a whole, so let's hope the NHL decides to do it again next year. Also this week was another major historic sporting event, NASCAR's Daytona 500. After 2 weather delays totaling more than 3.5 hours and a few very narrow escapes from intense wrecks, William Byron earned his 2nd straight win at Daytona. Byron became the first back-to-back winner since Denny Hamlin in 2019 and 2020. It was not an easy victory by any means, though. Like I said, the drivers had to battle severe weather in Daytona Beach, Florida. On top of that, with just 1 lap remaining, Byron sat in 9th place, and the odds to win were definitely not in his favor. He managed to dodge a series of late race wrecks that knocked out a large portion of contenders and sent the Hendrick Motorsports driver into the victory lane for the 2nd year in a row. Byron became the youngest driver to win multiple Daytona 500s, breaking the record previously held by Jeff Gordon. Also this past weekend, the PGA held the Genesis Invitational at Torrey Pines in La Jolla. Ludvig Åberg of Sweden had a late rally to win this Southern California event, but just like NASCAR, it was not easy. Åberg was 3 shots behind and running out of holes when he hit 3 perfect shots for birdies and finished off his late push with a 7-foot birdie putt on the 18th hole, giving him a 6 under 66 and a 1-shot victory. This is the 2nd PGA Tour title for the 25-year-old from Sweden and his 3rd worldwide that makes him the number 4 ranked golfer in the world. Similar to the NHL, this past weekend the NBA tried to alter their All-Star Game weekend format. The 2025 NBA All-Star Game has concluded, featuring a tournament-style event that consisted of 4 teams of 8 players each. LeBron James extended his record to 21 All-Star selections, although he sat out of the event due to discomfort in his left foot. He joined the other Western Conference starters Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Stephen Curry. For the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo led all players in fan voting for a 2nd straight season, but sat out after suffering a calf injury. Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns were also named as Eastern Conference starters. It was sort of a confusing format with 4 different teams composed of the NBA's 24 best players as they faced off in a bracket-style tournament. The teams were coached by Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Candace Parker. Instead of being the usual timed game composed of 4 quarters, the first team to score 40 points in each game was declared the winner and moved on to the next round. Ultimately, Team Shaq defeated Team Charles by a score of 41-25 in the final round. Steph Curry was named the All-Star Game MVP as he put up 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist, and got all 12 of his points from 3-pointers. The All-Star Weekend also hosts the Slam Dunk Contest. History was made this year as the Osceola Magic guard Mac McClung of the NBA G League became the first person to win the Slam Dunk Contest 3 years in a row. Not only did the 26-year-old McClung secure the win, but he won the contest with a perfect score, receiving maximum 50 points in each round, including a high-flying dunk over a full-size Kia sedan on his first dunk of the night. While all-star games across all sports have faltered in quality as of late, the dunk contest is always electric. Baseball fans can rejoice as the MLB officially begins this week with the spring training games. The first game of the preseason was a matchup of the reigning champion Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs yesterday afternoon. The Cubs opened up 2025 spring training with a win. To refresh your memory, during spring training, the MLB is split up into two leagues, the Cactus League that plays in Arizona and the Grapefruit League, which will play its games in Florida. There are plenty of games to enjoy every day from now until mid-March, so be sure to tune in to some of your favorite teams' games. The 2025 regular season will begin with the Tokyo Series, a two-game series between the Dodgers and the Cubs at the Tokyo Dome on Tuesday, March 18th and Wednesday, March 19th. Traditional opening day featuring all 30 major league clubs will take place on Thursday, March 27th. Baseball is coming up very quickly, and I know I'm excited. I know it's only been a week since football ended, but the new season is already slowly starting to take shape. Next Thursday, the 27th, the NFL Rookie Combine will begin. This means that college players hoping to be selected in the NFL Draft in April will have a chance to showcase their abilities and hopefully persuade teams to call their names on draft day. Like I said, that event begins on Thursday the 27th and will run through Sunday, March 2nd. All the events can be seen on NFL Network. With all of that said, thank you as always for joining me on another Friday's episode of Sports Corner. Enjoy all the basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, golf, tennis, and so much more this weekend, and come right back next Friday for more news and updates. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.